Can you guess what this video is going to be about? You guessed it. Air conditioners. Coils from air conditioners. More air conditioners? The blowers out of air conditioners? Is that what this video is going to be about? Is it going to be about sealed units from air conditioners? Or yeah, maybe it is about electric motors from air conditioners. Or maybe it's about ACRs? Maybe? Or maybe it's about copper? We got tons of copper. Wish the prices didn't drop. So we're going to just keep going. A wise man once told me, once you know how to make money and work hard, you'll never be poor. Well, this is how I make my money. Well, it's your boy Mike here, guys. Back on another long overdue video. I was just messaging somebody was messaging me, a guy that does scrap. One of my followers actually. He was showing me his score today. He made $1,600 on bringing in some copper and stuff. Shout out to Sean. But yeah, so he was just messaging me, and I was sending him pictures. I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna do a video. He's like, yeah, it's long overdue, and I'm like, you know what, it is. So as you see, I've been super duper busy. Been processing a lot of stuff lately. Was not excited about copper prices dropping. None of the yards wanted to go at that high price because they weren't getting it, but they sure as hell dropped it quick when it dropped. Which, I don't know. They say they don't go by the COMEX price. They go by the London market price or whatever. But that price has been pretty flat lately. I mean, maybe 20 or 30 cents over the last couple months. Or since April. April it dipped. But then the COMEX price was extremely high. And then what happened was it went down. And now they dropped their prices way below what the COMEX price was. That makes no sense to me. You know, if they were going off the COMEX price, why were some yards $4, $4.20 a pound for number one, but the COMEX price was $4.30, $4.50? That makes no sense to me. Nobody can ever make it make sense. But I have a lot of stuff I have to process, and I want to go over and show you some things. All right, guys. So I took apart that geothermal unit. And inside this is what I want to show you. There's copper inside these. I don't know if you guys have seen these. Probably haven't. I only get them every once in a while. But I cut to get that out. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But you see I got some more. Oh, I'm zoomed in really far. That's why. I got some more copper and stuff I got to go through. Some brass. Bunch of electric blower motors. And as you've seen, there's another motor there. I got the ones out there I showed you in the intro. But copper, number 2. This can is super heavy. I can't even... There is, I think, 300 pounds of windings from electric motors. I was crushing them in here with the hammer. What I was doing was I was putting them in and then taking this hammer and doing this. Try to squish it into the can. So I had it about halfway full of windings, and I basically just meat mashed it in there. And this is my number 1. Don't worry about that. But there's no solder on it, but there's a couple pieces that are going to go as number 1. I don't care. Remember, they all dump it in the same vat and melt it down. But I've been saving... Sorry. My shop is a freaking mess, guys. Move that can. But there's electric motors. I don't know if you can see that. It's dark. But that's probably about a quarter full of electric motors. There's a bunch more of these blower motors over here. Come apart fairly easy and stuff. But I'm going to show you one of these. I'm going to cut one of these and show you. What I do is you cut it into like a little piece. And then lock it in a vise and then push that end out, that piece of copper. I'll show you that. But, more A coils, ACRs. There's another electric motor here and a pump motor. And blower motors galore. Oh, guy on a scooter. Should be me. And then a bunch more blower motors here and stuff. I just haven't... It rained the other day, and look at that. A random piece of brass I found the other day. This is from when I was doing those brass valves, guys. Look at that. I still find this crap back here. But, ACRs, I still have to clean a couple. Yeah, I'm cleaning them again. Just because I had time. You know, I had my guys here working and stuff, so I was like, you know what, clean them. You know, if this is an aluminum A-coil, boo. Boo! Cheap ass shit. Look how junky they're making this shit now. Aluminum A-coil. I'd rather have coitus with my cousin than get nothing but those. I'd rather not. It's a joke. But lots of good ones in these big guys. Got these 3. I like these bigger units like this. And then there's a 5-ton unit. I think that one might be a 5-ton or a 4-ton. This is a 5-ton unit here. I just went and literally picked this stuff up. See, these are the ones we like. Lots of stuff on the ends. And they're nice and thick. Damn, boss, you thick. I mean, it's 2 inches. Or would I tell the old lady it's 2 inches? We'll put this over here. Actually, we'll put it right in the garage. So, another A-coil to do. And another blower motor. This is from the furnace unit that's up there. These are the squirrel cages, they're called. Sometimes you can't get that nut off. That one looks like it might actually come off. And then these bad boys. A couple bolts to take out. And then you take that one off, and then you could hit down on that shaft as long as you don't booger down, and these will pop off. If they don't, you could take these screws out. Sometimes you got to get your hand back here to hold the nut. You could take these screws out, just take this piece out, but then you kind of miss some of the dirty aluminum and aluminum ends. So you got to pick your poison on that. But now this one's cool because you could go in there with a drill and drill into that and see if that's aluminum. If that's aluminum, you could just send the whole thing, or, you know, you could throw that in your dirty aluminum because it's got aluminum on the outside, aluminum winding, aluminum case on the inside. Then there's aluminum on the air dicking, and you got aluminum on the shaft. So they won't buy these as electric motors, but you could throw this as your dirty aluminum or irony aluminum. I would. Stop giving it away for free. Like, this is all my irony aluminum. It's got aluminum and iron on it. Whatever. You know? It is what it is. That's what I do. So if I find an electric motor that is aluminum, that's what I've been doing. I've been throwing these with the aluminum windings, with the aluminum on them. You know what? Irony aluminum. I think I got 18 cents a pound. It's half of what a copper motor is. Might as well, guys. Don't throw them off as tin, or don't even rip them apart and strip them out. If you could check them and they're aluminum, just put them in the dirty aluminum bin. But yeah, we got another one of these. Oh, I wish I could pick this up without hurting my finger. Oh, speaking of hurting your finger, brother. Yep, did that with the Sawzall. Sawzall kicked back and tore my glove off. I didn't have my glove on it. Probably my cut-resistant glove.
Yeah, boy.
If I didn't have my cut-resistant glove on, I probably would have torn my finger completely off, or had ripped it open really bad. But yeah, I've been working and been rocking and rolling. I'm gonna be honest, the heat this year is really bothering me. I don't know if it's just because I'm getting older and fatter. But I'm usually not good. I'm not a hot weather guy. I can't work in the hot weather. I'm just not built for it, I guess. Even when I was younger, it always bothered me. But that's what it is. You know, I work a couple hours and stop. As you see, it's not actually raining, but it rained the other day all day, and I was in the shop, and that's why I did that copper I was telling you, and ripped apart a lot of the air conditioners and was cutting all the copper. I had garbage cans full of copper tubing from the air conditioners we cleaned from all this stuff. Here, I had 3 garbage cans and like 2 buckets of brass. I still have a half bucket of brass I got to go through in there. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with the prices. I'm I'm just going to hold out, be honest with you. I really don't need to cash it in right now. I really don't need the money. So I'm going to go another month and see if the prices go back to where they were. Like I said, the place I usually sell to was like $410 to $420 for 1 and 2 copper. I'd like to see. I'm not selling it for $2 or $250. I'm sorry, it was $250 or $280 for Bear Bright. I'm not selling it for under $3 a pound. It's not going to happen. I usually not want to wait or save things, but snipers. But oh, 50 cal. My neighbors are shooting, but yeah. So I'm not. That's a shotgun, by the way. I'm not going to sell it for under $3.50 a pound. If I get $3.40, $3.30, I'm okay with that price. That to me is a good price for copper. Like I said, us guys that have a lot of it are not going to sell for that. I mean, once I go through everything and I finish all those electric motors, I should have over a ton. I probably have, between those 2 toters, I have probably about 1,000 pounds. I should get close to a ton by the end of the month or more. I'm not going to let it go. I'll be honest with you. Same thing with the ACR. Last time I cashed in, I had 1,500 pounds of ACRs. I had 2,500 pounds of sealed units. You know, I'm not going to give it away. You know, I wish I knew somebody locally that would buy these off of me for a decent price, like, and would strip the copper out of it, and we'll see the difference, you know. But I don't have time to do the sealed units, and I won't ever do them. I used to do them back in the day, and it was a waste of my time. But yeah, guys, Mikey's been busy. He's been working, and he's been doing things, and he's been moving and shaking, and oh, pop, 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 pop. There's a bunch of stuff in the back of the white truck too for tomorrow, or for Monday. There's a motorcycle in there, a Suzuki Gixxer. That some dude wrecked. There's 2 refrigerators, a dryer, a bunch of stuff. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take this air conditioner out. Oops, way zoomed in too far. I'm going to take this air conditioner out and put it with these guys so it can be with his friends, and they can hang out and maybe, you know, have a sausage fest together. And there's a washer dryer combo and that furnace unit, which I'm going to put on this trailer. And I don't know, maybe I'll take these air conditioners apart. Maybe Monday I'll do them. I don't feel like doing them right now, but I want to cut this and show you guys. I know this video is getting long, but I'm going to cut this and show you. Alright, so usually with this stuff, if you have a bandsaw cutter, that might actually work better. But for me, Sawzall, you know, cut it like 5 to 6 foot lengths. Well, it's not 5 inches, but my old lady won't know the difference. That blade is extremely beat, by the way. But what you do is you cut it into sections like that, and then you can push it out. So, hold on. This tripod is way too big for all the crap that's in here. Alright, now you can see. So what you usually do is, you just get that in there and take a hammer, tap it a little bit. An air chisel would probably work pretty good too. The thing is why you got to cut it short is because if it's too long, it bounds up. And then there you go. There you go, baby. It's like a corkscrew. Now, is this number 1 copper or number 2 copper? What would you say this is? Leave it in the comment section below. It's got some hefty weight to it. This piece is probably a little bit heavier. So let's see. Alright, got the little scale, digital scale out. 1 ounce of copper. Oh, it's not even showing an ounce, guys. Not even an ounce. Oh man, is it even worth it? That weighs 5 ounces. This doesn't weigh an ounce. And then there it says it weighs... Something's not right. How the hell... Well, it says this weighs 5 ounces. So there's 2 ounces. This weighs about an ounce. It's like an ounce to 2 ounces. So that's weird. So you guys are going to say, oh, it's not worth it. But I've already took about 4 or 5 pieces of this out. I mean, so there might be a pound in a tube like this. I don't know. Let's do it. I'll do a tube and I'll show you. All right, so all that stuff together, one tube wasn't a full tube, but with that one and this piece, still wasn't a full tube. So with with another piece of that, because I already did one of this, I would say one of the tubes is probably 4.5 pounds. So let's see how much copper we get out of doing these. All right, boys. Sorry I had to cut that out. I cut it a little longer, and it was kind of giving me a pain in the butt. That's why you kind of cut them shorter. Maybe with an air chisel, because it's curved. It's kind of hard for it to come out the bottom. So she said. But, all right. I don't know why my scale might not be. All right. Zeroed out. Let's see if this is worth the money or the time. So what was it, like I said, 4.5 pounds? And there's one piece missing, so there might be 2 pounds of copper in 4.5 pounds. Take that with a grain of salt if you don't think it's worth it. I mean, oops. But I will be throwing this. Feels good. I'll be throwing this in my number 1. That's, oops. That completely fucking missed. But so you might not think it's worth it, but that was only 1 ring out of this. Ooh, it's got some water in it. Hold on. Should call her. There's 15 pounds there. And I only cut 1 ring out of it. 1 ring's a little smaller, 1 ring's a little bigger because it's got the ends on it. But that is 15 pounds. And I took, so 20 pounds, I'd say there's 10 pounds of copper in there. So when the price was $4 a pound, that would have been 40 bucks taking that copper out. So, yeah, it's a little harder than just doing stuff like this. You know, that's a copper end, you know. So, number 2, number 1. Don't worry about that little bit right there. Don't worry about that. But yeah, so this you might think might not be worth it. But, you know, I see guys that I would much rather do this than take apart an electric motor, one of those electric motors. You know, it takes usually get about a pound out of an electric motor. So if you think about it, you know, you get 10 pounds of copper out of this thing. It's worth it. I mean, stuff like this is obviously better. But, I mean, you got to take it for what it is. You know, when you got time and you can rip the stuff apart. I've been doing it slowly as I go. And you end up like that with a whole freaking 96-gallon toter full. But, I mean, if that's considered 1, that should be considered 1. There's no solder on this. I mean, there's a little corrosion and rusty water in there. But I already did one of these little sections. But you got to, this is a little bit longer section, as you see it in my hand. That's why you got to keep them smaller because they don't come out that often. But, you know, this toter I didn't weigh, but I'm telling you right now, you ain't picking that thing up. Oh, and there's another piece of copper here. Another piece of tubing. Just going to roll that up and put that in my number 1. But, yeah, guys, as you see from electric motors, these are what come out of them. Like that right there, I'll pop this piece off and then that'll just go as regular crap. But there's some that are dirty, some that are clean. You know, it is what it is. A couple faucets and things. There's a bucket of brass I didn't go through. I did that one. It's just random stuff. This is all the tubing from the air conditioning. The air conditioning tubing. Yeah, guys, let me know if you think taking them things apart is worth it. I actually like them. I mean, that's actually a smaller one. I have gotten more out of the bigger units, the geothermal units. Some of those are probably twice as much. I think I was getting like 25 pounds of copper out of them. I mean, it's not every day you can pull 25 pounds of copper out of one thing. Maybe a pool heater or something, or if you get an old water tank, you know, something like that. But for the most part, you know, that's what you're looking for. Like these air conditioners like this, you don't get much copper out of these. You know, the tubing in here, you get 2-3 pounds a piece. So if you think about it, you're getting that about out of one of them, you know, each one of those little coils. You know, you get more ACR and sealed unit weight out of here is what mostly, and then tin. So it's mostly tin and sealed unit. You know, electric blower motor. You know, so I actually like the A coils better than these because the weight on them is mostly just the tin on the outside and the ACR, and they're thick. Some of these are only 1 core. Some of the ACR ones, like that 2-inch one, is 3 to 4 cores thick of copper and aluminum. So there's a decent amount in them. But yeah, guys, struggle is real. Remember, dirty hands, clean money. Enjoy your fucking adventure.